Okay, so as per the name of this In Conversation With, we're going to just have a conversation in the two sort of realms that it tends to exist these days, which is feature-length or creative documentary, with Mainzeke will be bringing his perspective from his film, and factual content, one-offs and series, which Bo is very familiar with. So maybe you can each just, starting with Bo, explain the genre of factual content. What is the difference between factual and documentary, essentially?
I think documentary came from to find what is not scripted. I mean, what's scripted, then documentary is non-scripted. And it was just an umbrella term for trying to document the truth. And as the genre evolved and television evolved, it got many more genres, subgenres to it. So these days, even food would fall under documentary. But you know, these days people would say it's more lifestyle. So it's the word documentary is actually a very difficult one, and it's quite often by film funds or governments or just differentiated. But it's not fiction, so therefore it's documentary.
My film is about, it deals with issues of male circumcision. So now everyone wanted to see the penis. So this is the problem I had with them. It was like, why must I show you the penis? They're like, no, I mean, this is about, you know. So that was the issue, and that's when we kind of had problems. So it was difficult for me to find funding, because every broadcaster outside kind of my Africa or South Africa wanted to see that which is secret to us. And of course, I got some funding from Jan Freiman at the time. I think it's called ITFA Betha Fund, to be able to develop my story, you know, and put in my own money, develop, and then they gave me money. And then of course I came back home to my local people, you know, try NFVF. I said, guys, this is what I want to do, you know, will you be able to help me with some development funding? Of course, they kind of enjoyed the fact that I was from outside what you call major cities, which is Johannesburg, Cape Town, and I was coming from a city that's really developing, which is Port Elizabeth. So at Eastern Cape, yeah. So they kind of really they gave me funding for that,
because it's not a pay TV proposition, because people who sit in pay TV are generally men that want to watch sports. So the captured audience in pay TV is off for the subject matter, and then it leaves you free to air. The one free to air, they need ad breaks, but who would pay any ad break around subjects like that? It's very hard, because it's not commercial enough. And then the only place you've got left is free, the PBS, the public broadcasters, whose responsibility is to inform the world about what's happening. But their argument would be, okay, so circumcision is something new, but then we can't just focus on African circumcision, then we have to go where the conflicts in the world for circumcision, so that because as a public broadcaster you can't just shine the light in one area, they have to show it all. And I think that's where it can be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, what's so funny though is that now in this past year, it's just like everyone wants to see the film, everyone wants to buy it, you know, because I think Mandela of course dying. So it's got to do with the issues that when outside world wants to focus on that country and there's something really topical. Mandela went through circumcision and he writes this in his book, and he talks about initiation. So everyone else wants to focus on Mandela. So
popular.
Yes, popular. There's that popular thing. So theme around the world. So it's the perfect time for my film now to travel. But it's totally different. This is a feature length. So that's what I've done.
I think it's really clever, because what you've done, you were able to marry up two worlds, and that's it's good for you having been able to done it, and sometimes also because the subject matter lends itself. So Al Jazeera and circumcision, it's great, because the whole area that they broadcast in, it's of interest. What quite often happens with creative documentaries lend itself a lot from how fiction finances, but then also doesn't do it, because what any fiction producer does, they have three different budgets. They have, you know, my dream case scenario, biggest actors, everything, and then this is sort of like terrible, but I'm willing to do it, and there's no margins, but I need to produce this film. When it comes to creative documentaries, what I find that a lot of creative filmmakers, they don't have the three options, where actually I should have a budget for 60 minutes to make it for television, and I need to have a 90-minute version to access the funds, and then also think about the medium television. You know, where would it sit, and is it actually viable? Because if it isn't viable, then you just don't business plan for it, because.
Want to wrap up, Delo?
Yeah, no, sure. Thank you everybody for coming. For anybody who's interested in some warm and cheap wine and wants to continue the conversation, we can move on to the boardroom area and just engage some more. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.